Hey everybody, this is take 2 of MMOFTW for this week. I just spent the past 10 minutes talking to a mic that was unresponsive before I realized at the very end of the episode the microphone wasn't working. Now it is, so we're going to go ahead and record, and of course we're going to start off with the biggest news of the week. You all might have heard that there's some hubbub and hullabaloo surrounding Star Citizen, everybody's favorite crowd-funded spacefaring sandbox MMO slash space simulator. So why don't we start with that, okay? So as you may have heard, Derek Smart, not too long ago this year, actually started writing all these articles about how Star Citizen is questionable in development. They might be running out of money. What's really happening? Are they misappropriating funds and spending it? All this stuff, all these allegations that he says he has proof for and ideas about, and he has inside sources and things like that. And we thought it kind of went away for a little while. Articles seemed to slow down because the game kept being developed. They kept putting out new stuff. They, however, have delayed the first-person shooter module, and it's due out in the very near future. That doesn't stop the fact that people have been digging ever since Derek Smart's allegations came out, and now an article came from a news media outlet and popular blog, I guess you'd call it, called The Escapist. You might know of Yahtzee. Yahtzee is this YouTube video critic who kind of made his name over on The Escapist. Well, now The Escapist wrote a very lengthy op-ed, a one-sided op-ed, sourcing all these former employees who have been let go from Roberts Space Industries, from RSI, saying that working conditions are bad, that there's a lot of nasty stuff going on and misappropriations of funds, of course, all this stuff. And Chris Roberts had responded to John Kiefer, the managing editor at The Escapist, and he responded to John Kiefer, and none of that response managed to make it into the article. And so Chris Roberts then posted a very lengthy response to all this bad press that's going around right now, talking about how he's basically working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there are days where he doesn't even sleep, and that people are backing his game because they believe in him and they believe in the company and they believe in the game they're making, but that kind of game they're making is going to take a lot longer, and it's not always going to be able to deliver on certain deadlines because they want it done right, yada yada yada. And then John Kiefer posted an editorial firing back on The Escapist, saying that the letter that we got from Chris Roberts didn't make it to us in time and we weren't able to publish it. We do accept the proposal to go visit Chris Roberts and the studio and see how things are being made. So, back and forth. And now apparently RSI is going to be suing The Escapist for libel. It just goes on and on, folks. I don't really want to comment any more on it because we've seen threads all over the internet for the past several weeks about this game. At this point, I just want Star Citizen to come out and be playable and be fun and at least be at 50%, if not all, of the game that we were promised when it was announced. And if it takes a few more years, I'm okay with that. I don't have thousands of dollars backed into it, though, so maybe I'm not the right person to speak. However, all this drama surrounding the game is just not good for the industry, and if such a high-profile, crowd-funded MMO tanks because of this, I know that it's really, really going to hurt the industry as a whole. This is basically the last AAA big budget MMO we're going to see for some time, I think. So I really hope it makes it out and that when it does come out, it's good and it's able to rise above all the stuff that's going on with it. Because we need it as a genre, as a fan site, as fans of the genre. We need something unique and majestic to be made out of Star Citizen because its promises are lofty. What we don't need is for it to fail and die in a flaming wreckage. That's definitely not what anybody wants, I don't think. And hopefully the folks at RSI can rise above that, deliver a great game, and then nobody will ever remember all this drama a few years from now. So moving on though, guild missions in Guild Wars 2 are getting a brand new overhaul when Heart of Thorns comes out at the end of October. It's October 23rd. You may have been playing some of the stuff that was actually the new Engineer spec and the Druid spec that were available in this weekend's beta, but guild missions will have a complete new overhaul, new user interface. There will be instanced missions that you can take part in. There will be PvP and PvE missions. If you manage to take part in just part of the guild mission and then have to log off or you get disconnected, you're still going to get rewarded. So in keeping with a lot of ArenaNet's promises, they are completely overhauling the reward system for guild missions to make it something that people actually want to do. And it's not just for the bigger missions or the bigger guilds in the game as well anymore. Small groups will actually be able to do their own things. And you can pre-roll the missions with objectives known from the start, or you can make them randomized so that each time you roll a mission, you'll have different objectives and stuff like that. There'll be bounties and tracks remaining in the randomized column, of course. If you want to know all about the new guild mission system, you can head over to the Guild Wars 2 site or just click the link in the description below that has all the information and all the news right there too. And in WildStar news, you may or may not have noticed on our website, because we did a whole WildStar week of features, the MMORPG that launched last year went free to play this week, called WildStar Reloaded, with a host of improvements, everything top down, from basically from combat to crafting and rune making and all this other stuff. It all got overhauled. There's a whole bunch of new content added, new dungeons and everything like that. Everything has been touched in this game. The one thing that apparently was not prepared for the free-to-play launch were the servers themselves. They're completely overloaded. As of this writing, I haven't played in about 2 days since Friday, so maybe things are a little bit better, but they are definitely getting hammered by the sheer amount of demand that players actually want to give WildStar a shot, which is a double-edged sword. It's great that a lot of players suddenly want to play your game and give your free-to-play game a shot. It's really bad when they can't play it and they might just forget about the game before they get the chance to really enjoy it. So hopefully they can get the server stuff ironed out in the next couple days. If not, the big swell of incoming traffic may be missed. So good luck to NCSoft and Carbine, because they've got a pretty darn good game on their hands. They just need to get it working right for everybody. And in Star Wars The Old Republic news, the dark side of planetary scaling reared its head this week when BioWare's Eric Musco revealed that planets will be level synced with the upcoming expansion. That means if you decide to go back to, Tatooine or something like that with their level 65 Sith, he's going to be downscaled to make things around the area difficult for you again. This did not go over well with the community. For a game that is based entirely around the lore and the idea that you're becoming a powerful character in this whole saga, it seemed kind of silly that you would go back to an area, that's 30 levels below you in power and is suddenly hard for you to do again. So it's kind of an unwanted feature overall. If you want to go to over to the Star Wars The Old Republic forums, you'll see some good examples of reasons why this is not good. And from what I can tell, I haven't been able to keep up on it all weekend. It was a busy weekend, but chances are this will become a optional feature, so you can either decide to go back to these areas at a level scaled rate, or you can go back at your actual level and power level, and that's probably the best solution. So players who want a tougher challenge in the areas, or they want to go back and do content at the appropriate level, they'll be able to, and those players who want to just go power through it will be able to as well. Hopefully that's the way they go. If you've seen that this is actually the announcement that they've decided to go in with optional level scaling, please comment in the video below and let us know so we can update things with an annotation or something like that. Okay, well, that'll do it for this week, folks. I think I've rambled on long enough about Star Citizen and all the other stuff, so let's just call it a week. We're at 9 minutes now. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook at MMORPG.com without the dot. As always, you can follow me on Twitter as well at TheBillMurphy. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Have a wonderful Monday. I hope it's way better than mine, because I'm going to be up in a few hours. That's the terrible part. I'd rather sleep in. But don't forget to follow us on all the social media networks, and come back and check MMOFTW out every week, because it's a good show and you like it, and you like MMOs, so just watch it, okay? Remember, don't let a bad pug get you down.